The top stories: Ethiopia removes terrorist attack from the TPLF. And the National Dialogue Commission plans to undertake nationwide dialogue in May. Greetings, dear viewers, ladies and gentlemen. This is Addis Dialogue, Addis News Hour, rather, with the Nizam Shfaralako. Please stay with us. Now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, Dammaqe Mekonnin, conferred with UK's Minister of State for Development and Africa in the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, Andrew Mitchell, expressing Ethiopia's gratitude to the British government for its continued humanitarian assistance. Dammaqe briefed Mitchell on current situations in Ethiopia, calling upon the latter to work closely to enhance Ethio-UK ties. Dammaqe also noted the continued commitment of the Ethiopian government toward the consolidation of the peace agreement within the transitional justice framework, and that it requires the support of partners like the UK to further expedite the implementation. And Mitchell, on his part, commended the stride made in ensuring the peace and stability of Ethiopia with the signing of the Pretoria Peace Agreement and the commencement of national public consultations on transitional justice options. Ethiopia's parliament on Wednesday removed the TPLF from a list of terrorist organizations, a significant step toward establishing an interim regional government following the end of a two-year civil war. The TPLF, which led the northern region into war with the federal government in the late 2020, was designated a terrorist group in May 2021. And as many as 61 members of the 547-seat assembly voiced serious objections to the proposal to delist the TPLF from a list of terrorist organizations, citing that the wounds caused by the organization are far from being healed. That's according to our staff reporter, Kasaun Chane. Have a listen to this.
Following lengthy debates, Ethiopia's federal parliament voted to remove the terrorist tag from the TPLF, the organization which dominated Ethiopian politics as a ruling party for close to 3 decades before being ousted from federal power in April 2018. Tasfaye Beljige, the chief government whip with a ministry rank, told the House that the removal of the TPLF from the terrorist list was necessary in order to break the cycle of war, avoid sowing seeds of hatred and evil, and resolve political issues.
As a nation, we must create durable peace throughout Ethiopia, regardless of the various ideologies and political viewpoints that we may opt to pursue. This is an overthrow meant to help speed up the formation of an interim government in Tigray and One, which we are duty bound to implement as per the Pretoria Pact.
The plan to delist the TPLF as a terrorist organization has drawn criticism from a number of members of the House who beg to differ, citing that the woes and grief of Ethiopians who fell victims to the barbaric actions of the TPLF still remain unaddressed.
ትጥቁን ቀብሮ ባለበት ደብቆ ባለበት ሁኔታ ወታደሮቹን ዲሞቢላይዝ ባላደረገበት ሁኔታ
This proposal is undoubtedly premature given the TPLF's failure to disarm, demobilize and commit to other requirements outlined in the Pretoria Peace Accord. The TPLF is included in the transitional administration under the Pretoria Peace Accord, despite the fact that it currently enjoys free reign over the entire Mekelle town. It has also been deploying armed use and encroaching upon the borders of the neighboring Amhara state. The TPLF leaves no stone unturned to tear the nation apart. thanks to its decade of rich experience in hate politics and narrow nationalism. This fact continues to stare us in the face, coupled with insecurity gripping other parts of the nation.
አጀንዳው ይሄ ከሆነ ከዚህ መቅደም የነበረበት
If the intention here is to remove the tourist tag from the TPLF, then alternative proposals should be put up and given due consideration. The TPLF's true colors cannot be erased from the mind of Ethiopians. We all know how this organization lived on and profited big time from acts of terror.
የህወሓትን ምንነት አብጠርጥሮ ያውቃል
The deal in Pretoria ended a conflict in which tens of thousands of people were killed and millions were forced from their homes. The listing is a prerequisite to the TPLF's participation in non-interim regional government.
The newly appointed ambassador-designate of the Republic of Turkey to Ethiopia, Berk Baran, presented a copy of his credentials to the Chief of Protocol of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, Demeke Atnafu. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, after welcoming Ambassador Baran to Addis Ababa, the Chief of Protocol with the Foreign Affairs Ministry wished the latter best of luck in discharging his official duties. He also extended his sympathy of the people and government of Ethiopia on the recent catastrophic earthquake. He also briefed the ambassador-designate on the current affairs and assured him of the continued cooperation of the government of Ethiopia with the Republic of Turkey in future endeavors. Welcome back. You are still watching Addis News Hour. Now, one of the initiatives taken by this Horn of Africa nation to break from the cycle of war following the recent peace agreement is the National Dialogue. Established to oversee the implementation of this initiative, the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission has been exerting efforts to heal the wounds in the nation. The head of the commission, Mesfin Araya, told ETV that the commission plans to launch a nationwide dialogue come May. Johannes Fantaun has the following story.
AU the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission was established by the House of People's representatives to resolve problems that are occurring in Ethiopia through peaceful dialogue and consultation. Since its establishment, the Commission has been doing various preparations to start the consultation process. Commissioner of the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission said discussions will be held to reach consensus through successful dialogue to resolve nationwide problems.
The first aim of the consultation process is to reach consensus. It is expected that an agreement will be reached among responsible states. Even if this is not the case, it will continue to be agreed upon. After the consensus, national reconciliation, reparations and justice are expected.
In the pointers he raised regarding the parties which will participate in the national dialogue, as one of the features of the Commission is its inclusiveness, all actors of the society will participate, the Commissioner added.
The main principle of Ethiopia's national consultation is about its participatory and inclusiveness. It is also based on credibility and impartiality. Therefore, if it is inclusive, all Ethiopians will participate, and also sections of society outside the governmental structure must be included.
The Commissioner said although there are wrong deeds committed against the people in Ethiopia during different regimes, it is rarely noticed when public apology is requested for the crimes committed at the group level. Adding, Mesfin stated that the Commission will include indigenous conflict resolution mechanisms in the planned national consultation.
In the course of Ethiopia's history, there are no common ways where the oppressors say they made wrong. What is often observed is the idea that I was wrong, not that I have sinned. For this, it is important to use indigenous conflict resolution mechanisms.
The Commission, which is completing various preparations, announced that the consultation process will begin in the coming May 2023.
The Ethiopian ambassador to the Benelux countries, Hirut Zamana, met and discussed with delegates from the Netherlands and Belgian foreign ministers that will be visiting Ethiopia from 22nd to 24 of March 2023. Ambassador Hirut highlighted the current developments in Ethiopia that ranged from efforts made to establish transitional justice system, national political dialogue, and revamping development projects to rehabilitation and reconstruction efforts in the conflict-affected areas in the northern part of Ethiopia. The political directors for the Netherlands and Belgium foreign ministers respectively expressed their wishes for the peace process to flourish. They also expressed keen interest to learn more about the process of transitional justice and the reconstruction efforts. They all noted their interest to strengthen the bilateral links between the two sides. The Ethiopian Red Cross Society (ERCS) and the International Committee of the Red Cross (ICRC) held a discussion about rehabilitating conflict-affected areas in the country. The ERCS Secretary General pointed out that it is indispensable to work cooperatively to intervene in the humanitarian situation in the country and the impact of conflict in the northern part of Ethiopia. Moreover, the Secretary General said collective efforts are needed to help people affected by the conflict as well as climate-driven disasters. Both sides have agreed to further deepen their discussions and to maximize their commitment to strengthening the relations and address the issues raised during the discussion.
The 70th Global
It's expected that
Ethiopia is Ethiopians
One of Africa's soldiers.
Our news is always aired on Monday to Friday on 11 a.m. and 9 p.m. and also on Saturday and Sunday on 9 p.m. Make sure to follow us.
And now in business, investors in Bishoftu, a sprawling town located in East Showa Zone in the state of Oromia, say Ethiopia's conducive environment for dairy farming. The investors have appreciated the endowed potential of the nation. Texarnes has the following story.
Ethiopia, a new horizon of hope. Ethiopia has undergone unprecedented radical political, economic and structural reforms as a nation as well to create conducive environment for investment. Given its diverse topography and geographical location, it is suitable for the production of some of the world's most coveted food crops, such as cereals, pulses, oilseeds, a wide range of fruits and vegetables, coffee, tobacco, sugarcane, tea, and spices, among others. Investors engaged in dairy farming in Bishoftu town of Oromia region of Ethiopia told ETV that Ethiopia has favorable environment for dairy farming.
We are currently working on rearing cattle for milk, and we try to produce clean and quality milk products for our customers. We are breeding multiple improved cattle species, and it's going great.
It's very nice. We are here on a very nice location, close to the expressway, close to the asphalt, so it makes supply of feed and everything easier. Together with the environmental office from Bishoftu, we are working and trying to be an example for other companies. So we are working on our environmental points. It started 10 years ago. It was by two private investors from the Netherlands. They want to be an example in Ethiopia. They want to share knowledge in the dairy sector. At that time they started in a very small scale. But together with everyone, with the municipality, with everyone involved, we grow now to quite a big company.
The investors also went on saying that investing in Bishoftu has been good since there's a lot of market demand for dairy products.
In the case of rearing cattle for dairy production, Bishoftu is good since there's plenty of water and the weather is also very conducive.
We feel really supported by the municipality here in Bishoftu. Of course there are difficulties, but together we are facing those difficulties and we're trying to solve them. What I want to say is that, of course, it's a good business model, the dairy sector. There's a big shortage, so the supply in the market is there. So that's why we love farming in Ethiopia. We love to do farming in Ethiopia. We love to be an example in Ethiopia. And we like to share our knowledge and our genetics from the Netherlands here into Ethiopia.
A foreign investor in Ethiopia has the right to make remittances out of Ethiopia in convertible foreign currency at the prevailing rate of exchange. Ethiopia is a member of Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, a World Bank affiliated, which issues guarantee against non-commercial risks in signatory countries and of the World Intellectual Property Organization.
An economist says Ethiopia needs to share experience from other countries and strengthen domestic investment to attract more investors. The global chair of Fairfax Africa Fund, Zamadena Negatu, stressed that peace and stability should be at the heart of the government to draw more investors. Goshumalso takes it from here.
Ethiopia has undertaken comprehensive reforms for ease of doing business to attract foreign and domestic investors. Talking to Investors Cafe program, Zamadena Negatu said Ethiopia needs to share experience from other countries and strengthen domestic investment in addition to foreign investment.
To be competitive, to be like South Korea, okay? The best strategy, because we have actually resources that they didn't have. Stuff that comes from the grounds. The energy resources that we have, which they didn't have. But Korea today is, what, the 10th largest economy? We all have Samsung phones, and, you know, it's a powerhouse because it invested in its people. Ethiopia needs to do the same thing, invest in people. Second, investing in building our own domestic private sector. The Asians did that.
He stressed that peace and stability should be the prime attention of the government to attract investors.
Before you even get into the detail of how attractive is the investment, is there infrastructure, is there human capital, those are details. The first item is peace and security. I mean, if you can't pass that, you can't discuss the rest. I mean, it doesn't matter. Unless in some really rare cases, if it's something you pull out of the ground, immediately take it and take it out of the country. Okay. Maybe, okay? But that's rare. Even then, you're just doing it for the day.
Zamadena underscored that private-led economy enables Ethiopia to build more competitive economy and efficient ease of doing business.
It's now migrating towards a private sector-led economy. And by definition, private sector usually is more efficient than government. So that should give you an impetus to be more efficient, more competitive. The ease of doing business obviously has to be streamlined because the private sector will be demanding both the domestic private sector but also the foreign investment that are coming. So, as I said, without having a global benchmark anymore, like the ease of doing business ranking, I think going forward I would expect the ease of doing business in Ethiopia to be competitive or comparative to our peers.
According to him, Ethiopia's economy has grown by 47% over the past 3 years despite numerous sanctions on Ethiopia.
que vous voyez juste à notre gauche.
Well, the viewers, now a quick recap of the top stories before we go. Ethiopia removes terrorist tag from the TPLF. And National Dialogue Commission plans to undertake nationwide dialogue in May. Well, the viewers, that's all the news there is for now. Thanks a lot for watching us. Bye-bye.